Hello, guys. Welcome back. And I just gotta say, this is absolutely ridiculous. Taking away people's livelihoods because they have a different political opinion than you is just absolutely not okay, and it will not solve anything. Okay, this is how the divide gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We are slowly digging a grave the size of the Grand Canyon for our society with this kind of behavior. Threatening to throw bricks through people's windows. Like, what are you doing? This helps nobody. It helps nobody. And I'm going to explain why. But first, my name's John. Thank you so much for being here. Like and subscribe if you are sick of the culture wars and you just want to learn how to communicate so that we can all get along and get back to some sort of sense of peace in our lives. And that's what I'm looking for here. And so I'm going to tell you guys why I think that this just doesn't work. And, for the record, I don't care what political opinion you have. I don't care how righteous your opinion is. I don't care how woke it is. I don't care how similar to my own beliefs your opinion is. If you use threats to try to get your message across, like you're delusional. Like you're not a good person. Good people don't do this kind of stuff. Good people are tolerant and understanding and are always looking for the peaceful route out. Okay, and so why do I feel like I'm qualified to speak on how to communicate these ideas? Well, it's because I actually spent like a year of my life as a door-to-door salesman selling charity. Basically, I'd show up at your door unannounced, and 5 minutes later, you'd be donating money to a charity through me. And I learned a lot of tips and tricks on how to do that, and the biggest thing was empathy and kindness. The first step of any sales process is you have to get rid of this. You have to get rid of the me versus you thing. I want your money. You have to eliminate that. You have to get rid of it. You have to say, hey, you have to change the paradigm. Let us work on this together. And that's why you'll find that a lot of times on this channel, I will bend over backwards to list all of the things I agree with people on before I ever even get to what I disagree on. Why? Because it's a sales tactic. It's how our brains work. We are more likely to accept information that's contrary to our own from somebody that we feel actually cares about it. So some rando guy in the street tells me that my opinion is wrong, I don't care. But if my best friend tells me that he thinks it's wrong, he does it in a nice way. Well, we have a lot of rapport. We have built an established relationship. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. They're missing the most fundamental part of the human experience, which is the relationships that allow us to see past our differences and tolerate each other enough long enough to actually have a dialectic and really hash these problems out so that we can come towards an actual solution. So, it's agree, kill, close. So first thing you have to do is agree with them. You want to establish that you're on their side. And then you kill the objection. You don't just let them walk all over you and be like, oh, well, sorry, I was no, no, no. You kill their objection at some point. You try to debunk their argument at some point, but in order for that to actually work and for them to actually take hold of what you have to say in their minds, you have to establish some sort of empathetic, kind relationship that says, hey, I actually care about you and I'm trying to help you find the truth. I care about your well being, and that is why I'm telling you these things that you may not like to hear. But I promise you, I'm telling you these things for your good. I'm not just some self righteous guy who wants to make himself feel better by throwing a brick through somebody's window because he's mad that that you donated to a cause that you didn't agree with. Like that is just absolutely childish and it's inexcusable. And I don't hate anybody who does that. I believe that all human beings are valuable, deserve to be treated with dignity, but it's this kind of stuff that it makes me difficult. It makes it very difficult to treat other people with dignity when you see them do these kinds of things and it's a back and forth game. You do one thing and then they get mad and they don't communicate with you on it, so they throw a brick through your window and now you don't like them. And so you're totally not going to listen to them, which means they don't like you even more. And the gap just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Two fundamental rules you got to understand: hatred breeds hatred, and anger breeds more anger. Like you cannot put out a fire of hatred with more hatred. Only love can do that. And now it's important. Love does not mean you don't bother holding people accountable. No, no, no. Not on that wavelength at all. People need to be held accountable for what they did. but we need to do that in such a way where it creates, forgiveness and healing and reconciliation so that we can actually heal the wound and come back together as a society. Threatening people with anger and hatred and bricks through their windows, that pulls us apart even more. It takes a bad scenario, it makes it worse and worse and worse and worse, and it just escalates. And things are continuing to escalate, and that's one of the reasons I started this channel. It's like it's all about us having a dialectic and learning how to communicate our ideas and our differences in such a way so that it doesn't generate hatred, it doesn't generate anger, it generates understanding, compassion, and empathy for each other, and the ability to agree to disagree. If that sounds incredibly, refreshing to you, that I'm not here trying to tell you what to think, I just want to talk with you, like and subscribe. And yeah, I've run out of things to say, and I want to respect your time. So that's that. Goodbye.